This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
It almost goes against what you might think, but one of the most powerful ways to move your life forward, help you heal from things, process energy, all that stuff you got going on. What's the secret? Nothing. Being quiet. The power of the pause. We underestimate what that can do for you. She's going to back it up with a lot of insight, and we're going to go from there. Just taking time for quiet. She is the owner of Infinite Healing and Wellness. She's also the author of a great book, Mastering Self, which I got to believe this is certainly part of that. Colleen Brindley is back with us. How are you doing today?
Hi, Steve. Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this conversation. Power of quiet. I really have seen such change and transformation when people can pause, when people can find a peaceful state, that quiet. And again, the large part of my practice is, how do you get into that state? How do you stop talking about it? Right? So many things in life happen, and a lot of emotions, a lot of things brewing, and we talk about it and talk about it. And I often will say, surrender is quiet. When you finally have moved through and released that experience, that emotion, you can easily speak about it, share it, but we can no longer feel that energy of big, explosive energy of emotion. And so again, to move through experiences, to release sadness, anger, grief, change, expectations, all of that is really what I believe Earth is about. And we know you've moved on into the present, out of the past, because we can't change the past. When there's a peacefulness about you, when there's a quiet about you, there's no longer shame, guilt, hiding things. Now I can share my experiences with others and not feel maybe I messed up. Maybe I did something wrong. I'm worthy. I'm okay. I made it. Wow, how strong am I? So that peaceful expression allows me to communicate. If I can do it, I made it through sickness, grief, change, relationships, all of it. You can too. And I do believe that's a big part of what we're here to do. Is your experiences are not only for you. They're to be shared. They're to be expressed. And I'm very open about that. Made it through quite a few experiences, as I know everyone has. So I'm no different. I believe everyone. And once we start to have that conversation, that you're not alone. This is a place of emotion, place of experiences. And once I start to realize that it wasn't because I'm bad, it wasn't because I need to repent, I need to sacrifice, it was because this is Earth. The magic is inside. And as the magic shines brighter, which can only happen by releasing this unworthiness, releasing this sadness, this anger, this impatience, then I truly radiate and can start to create and have clarity on moving forward. Release. And so here we have a full moon. It's called a pink full moon. Pink is love. It's a time to love yourself and let it go. So particularly, we know during full moons, there's more hospital visits. There's a lot of drama happening. And so this is a time for greater quiet and release. And so you may feel that you want to quiet things down in your life, not engage, not be overly busy, but quiet it down. And that's not as easy as one would think. How do you quiet it down? And that's really what we talk a lot about. As we have a healing center with a salt cave and detox, and I call the chair I'm sitting in the magic chair because people don't know why, but they'll start crying.
Mm.
And so just someone's voice can calm them down, the waves in their brain, and they feel this surge of release of emotion. So tears are the most powerful way to release. Let it flow. Let those tears, we even say, let the snot go. Let it flow. And you'll feel this release. And that's what breathing does. When you feel you're holding your breath and you're tense and tight, breathe. Get the oxygen to the brain. We actually recommend and suggest our clients 3 days a week mix together this little smoothie, not a ton of ingredients, maybe an apple, banana, orange, spinach, little pecan, and 3 mornings, a little 8-ounce glass, because your brain is on fire. And when we quiet it down with a little smoothie that you made with love, you may release, you may be able to move forward, but you get more clarity when we slow the brain down. And it comes through meditation as well. And meditation was a real scary word for me. And so I've renamed it Just Be Quiet. Sit, eyes open, breathe, and a flurry of thoughts, a flurry of emotion, possibly tears, sighs, but we must release so that we can live. And happiness comes from knowing worthiness, equality, magnificence. And that's the part that we've been working really hard to try to understand. How do we create this inner knowing, remembrance of worthiness, of greatness? So Steve, I like numbers. I was a math major in college.
Oh.
How I did that, I'll never know. And I started reading some books on numerology, the vibration of numbers. And I thought, this is fascinating. And so you take your birth certificate name, and each letter coordinates to a number, 1 through 9, and you add them up and all of these things. And I thought, this is just fun. Well, when I tell you the vibration of my name talked all about peaceful communication, spreading peace in the world, a lot of it was after age 35. And I thought, that's exactly when some of this started. But then I had one number missing. And that told of me what I was here to work on now. And that was the number 7. And the number 7 was to look beyond the physical. And I thought, oh my goodness, yes, that's what I'm fascinated with. Look beyond the physical. Use your third eye. What's the bigger picture? And I've always said that each person on earth at this time is a piece of the puzzle. And the puzzle's incomplete without all the colors, without all the personalities, the flavors, the experiences, the emotions. So each person, each piece is so vital and important to the bigger picture. And so I've been on this mission, as many at this time in history, of, so what is beyond the physical? What does this look like?
Can I jump in on the number thing? Because it is so in real time for me. And I'm right there with you. And I have been told that everything in my personal information leads to an 11, which they say that's your life path number. And I don't run deep here. I'm just repeating what others say. It's a very powerful number. It's a master number. That's what they say. And just what you said, if you add up the letters in your name, A is 1, B is 2, onward, mine comes up to 11. If you take my date of birth, it comes up to 11. Even right at the beginning of my date of birth, I was born on 9/2. Right there. But if you add the year as well, it's an 11. If you look at my address, there's 3 numbers, add them up, it's 11. This is freaky weird. The other day I was driving and I'm like, I wonder.
Mhm.
So as I'm driving, I'm counting my social security number.
Ah,
It's 11.
yeah.
And you said 7. For me, 7 and 11 are very impactful. There's the 11. The 7, I always wondered about that. And I'm going to make this really short. It can sound weird. I'll laser it.
Not to me.
I asked for signs from my mom. She passed 7 years ago. I get them. They're very specific. Last year, she sent me, it was on the bottom of a brand new modem. I asked for a sign. Just show me you're listening, whatever. Flip it over. The password automatically generated by a computer was 4 digits dash Rose dash 2 digits. Rose is her name. Those digits always add up to 7 and 11. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I mentioned it to my daughter, who's a teenager. She goes, maybe it has something to do with your dad. My dad passed when I was 21, suddenly heart attack. Didn't really know him deeply, so this is why this equation was missing. I put it together. He died on 7/11.
See that?
So here's just the end of the story. I was like, mom is sending me a sign. So I made an appointment with a cardiologist. I haven't been to one in years.
Yeah.
And just basic checkup. Everything turned out good. Little tweaks here and there, average as you get older. Nothing major, whatever. But the moment I walked into the cardiologist, and I was there last week just for another checkup, who's there at the window? The woman that greets you? Look at her shirt. Her name is Rose. You can't make it up. Watch the numbers. Look for the signs. They're all there. Like you said, we're all puzzles. Call them breadcrumbs if you want. The little pieces are out there to help move your life forward and figure this stuff out.
Right. And that's what it is. It's how are we putting this together? There's the more I know, the more I don't know. And when you look at technology, none of us imagined technology when we were younger, growing up, not having computers, not having cell phones, to now where we're at.
Yep.
So I know for a fact there's so much more I don't know, I don't understand. But again, there's these patterns that cannot be coincidence. There's numbers. And I noticed it just how you were talking about a name tag. My daughter was in acupuncture school, had her lab coat on, and it said her name, Christina with a K. Her nickname, her whole life, was Tina, which we never could make sense of where it come from. And she said to me, now that I'm in this adult world and they're using my real name, my full birth name, I feel different. I feel more powerful, courageous, stronger. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So as I worked the numbers, like you noticed, the vibration of Christina was very different than the vibration of Tina. So if we use our full birth names, that vibration allows us to create our purpose, our path. It drives things forward. And so I thought, just your name? You're born with that. It has a vibration.
It's your identity, yes. And you're right. Everything has a vibration, no matter what. An emotion has a vibration. I want to ask you, now we talk about being quiet, power of the pause.
Right.
It's amazing how it's hard to do that unless you get used to it, because you can't quiet your brain down.
No.
How can you do that? Number one. Number two, what's going on there within us? The thing that comes to my mind is collect your thoughts. We've always heard that term. You got to collect my thoughts. It almost sounds like that's what you're doing when you're quiet, because it's almost like you can take inventory of what you're thinking when you're not put the phone down, watching TV. How do we effectively, just for those of us who can't do it, how do we get quiet?
Well, and I think the first thing is to know that the thoughts won't stop. So some people think I'm doing it wrong because it keeps coming, but it is slower. So I think time is our most valuable tool here. When I spend time with my children, with my husband, with my friends, right, I'm telling them they're important. So I look at time with yourself tells the universe, you're important. So I 15 to 30 minutes in the morning say, this is my time to connect. And for whatever reason, I always think of the Avatar movie when they plug their tails into the tree of life, the tree, their power source. So I look at it as that. I'm going to plug in. I'm going to plug in to peace, to no expectations. Some mornings the brain's on fire. Some mornings, not as fast. But the key is for me to keep my eyes open. And so as I focus on different things in the room, my brain can't go as fast because thinking and seeing are competing. So again, I think a lot of times we have such expectations and definitions of everything. Of this is how it should be. This is how it shouldn't be. This is good. This is bad. This is right. This is wrong. And I want to shift it all to this is a high vibration, meaning time for self, peace, love, content. This is low vibration, worry, perseverating, angry, blame, victim, fix it now, impatience, intolerance. So we all feel all of it most days. So none of us are better. None of us are worse. This is real. And so again, it's a very personal project of working your emotions, working your brain. I've heard some history as to why the brain, the mental, the thoughts are so powerful. There's many theories out there, but all I need to know is that if I commit to time, it says I'm important. And that worthiness starts to radiate, shine from within outward. So always time. And that's why I exercise. That's why I pray. That's why I give gratitude, because time is precious. And I'm going to set the stage to deal with planet stress and all those emotions and personalities that I'm going to gain wisdom from. So I don't look at anything as a problem or bad. It's just a process of clarity of, oh, that person needs more love. Some angry words came out. I'm going to have to send them some love in my morning gratitude and sending out positive energy. So I have a choice every day. Do I send out that energy of love, of peace, be the example of a peaceful person? Or do I send out angry words, put downs, putting people on pedestals, superior or inferior? I make those choices and I choose peacefulness. I do believe that because there is a lot more going on that meets the eye, that we choose temporary roles. So I chose, you chose in this body, in this life, this year, to do certain things. But a part of me believes, and not really sure if it's true or not, but there's infinite possibilities. Another body, another set of experiences, not just one, not just two. I used to think it was all about grow up, get educated, get married, have a family, have a job forever. You die, it's over. That heaven and hell thing. I no longer think that. I believe that, hey, every day is a gift. Every day is an adventure. Some of it feels uncomfortable. I have days, hours, minutes of discomfort. But that's a process of breaking through to the next understanding, the new perspective, I got to take some action. And
when you have that discomfort, we all have it, life. Yeah. Do you find that as time goes on, you're better prepared for the next discomfort and the one after that and the one after that? It's almost like, I don't want to say you're climbing a mountain, but you're traversing some rocky areas. And I'm crawled to the next one. I've got to go to the next one. Oh, that rock was right there. And I love what you said, beautiful. Everything is an experience. Instead of looking at, oh, God, I got to deal with that today. But flip it. And I'm being realistic. I'm not that person. Well, the glass is half full. All right. Not putting the rose-colored glasses on either, but just like, I learned from that. All right, on to the next, on to the next. It gets easier as time goes on. Do you feel that way?
It does. I think, especially with, we have consistent practices, so we're not going too low or too high, right? I'm really trying to ride that
Yeah.
mini roller coaster because I know I have to be prepared. I now understand life. Had worse, I've had better. And but I'm going to keep moving. And so if I really believe there is no finish line. And so it's ongoing. And with that perspective, I try to keep it moderate in all areas of my life. I'm not going to dig a hole. And my husband said to me, he's in quicksand this week. And I thought, why? You're sinking. What? Stay out of the quicksand. Just glide on, stay on the surface here. But we've all had periods of time
Sure.
where we're low and we're looking for answers, right? We're looking for the cure. We're looking for ease. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's work, love,
Peace.
right?
Looking for peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
But we want it now. And I said to my daughter, I said, it's like you're stuck in traffic and you're so frustrated. You want to be there somewhere. Where are you going? And there's traffic. And so you have no choice. You're stuck to be more patient, more tolerant. But maybe that was your protection. Maybe you missed the accident up ahead,
Right.
because you were in traffic. So I look at most things as, okay, maybe I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I know it could be worse. I'm protected. Keep doing you, keep loving you. That love, that vibration of love is your protection to moderate things to help you move forward. And I think that's what we've come to realize is I've seen worse and I'm not going to go back there.
Yep.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. How do I move? And so I invested in this crystal bed that you wear headphones and it actually slows your brain waves down.
Oh.
And that is the key to cellular vitality, anti-aging, but it's a release. So emotions, people come off crying and don't always remember, but it was a release. So everything on this quantum level of vibration is assisting us in getting out of the density of fear, worry, stress. So we now have tools to assist that. But I had one lady crying and she's like, I thought I'd feel better. And I said, well, you got to move through the mud to feel better. And so the misinterpretation is that I should feel better instantly. That's not the truth in my world. The world is we're going to have discomfort, but it could be quicker. It could be shorter. It could be less intense. Hey, well, that's what I'm in.
Isn't it the way you look at things? So we always look at crying. Oh, crying, sad. Yeah, there are tears of joy. Put that over to the side. But cry, sad. We have tears because it's letting go of things. There's chemical release. We're the only animal, mammal, whatever, that cries for emotion. Other species cry to cleanse their eyes so they can see better, but not for the reason we do. It is a release. We're just about out of time. Wonderful conversation today. And isn't it amazing? We're talking about doing nothing, just being quiet. But you have to be intentional. And that I had a conversation, a bunch of friends talking a couple of weeks ago. And one of the men, in our group, he was going through some challenges. And we all kind of said at the same time, have you ever sat in silence? And he thought about it for a second. He's like, no. And we said, we got nothing else to say to you except do just that. And right. There's so much power in that. How do we connect with you, Colleen? I know you're located in New Jersey. Sure, there's some things you can do virtually as well to help support people. What's the best starting point?
So infinitehealingandhealth.com gives you a list of services, monthly classes, experiences we do community expo, free services in the parking lot here for all people who want to spend the day with us, June 6th. We do an annual big event, people, practitioners using Reiki, crystal surgery, all these great modalities come in July 1st for our annual event. But day to day, it's about building that community, whether it's virtually online or in person. There's something for everyone. So please check us out, infinitehealingandhealth.com.
I love what you created there. It is like the ultimate holistic healing center. Super cool. Thank you for today. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.